Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, political shock. Education Minister Sarah Courtenay has resigned from Cabinet and Parliament, effective immediately. The Liberal member for Bass says the decision had nothing to do with her controversial trip to France, conceding politics has taken a toll on her personal life.
Fresh from her French getaway, Sarah Courtenay made a decision no one saw coming.
Today I announce that I'm resigning both as Minister and as Member for Bass.
After weeks of scrutiny over the timing of her holiday, the Education Minister chose to reflect on her life and career.
When I was on leave, it gave me the opportunity to properly consider the question of what future is personally right for me and my family, and I made a decision.
Opposing parties have been calling for Ms Courtenay to resign as Education Minister after she caught COVID while in France and didn't return in time for the school year. But the Liberal frontbencher doesn't regret the timing of her leave.
When you're a minister, there's never a good time to go on leave. But I have to say, when you're an Education Minister, a better time is during school holidays.
There are parents and students and teachers who deserve better from this government than what they've been delivered this year.
The Greens argue a lack of talent on the government backbench should see the House of Assembly expanded to 35 seats.
That when a situation like this happens, it really highlights the need for a deeper talent pool, better representation and stronger governance.
I have indicated that in the past, as did the previous Premier, that once our finances were in a position that consideration could be given, then consideration would be had.
Citing a particularly tough 2 years steering the health system through the first year of COVID and working with small businesses buckling under pressure, Ms Courtenay is mostly proud of her role in passing a bill to legalise voluntary assisted dying and reforming TASTAFE. With her political life now behind her, her future could look a lot different.
I've got a vineyard that I planted in 2010. That I've hardly stepped foot in since becoming a politician, being able to spend time reconnecting with that. Also looking towards what future challenges will be for me.
Bringing an end to her 8-year tenure in Parliament, just who will replace Sarah Courtenay will be decided in the coming weeks.
And political reporter Ainsley Koch is outside Parliament House. Ainsley, who will likely take over Sarah Courtenay's 5 portfolios?
Kim, the Premier now has the difficult task of yet another cabinet reshuffle. He has a few options on the backbench, but wouldn't budge on who he's considering, particularly for the coveted education portfolio. Right now, Peter Gutwein's focus is on replacing Sarah Courtenay's seat in Bass. He's written to the Electoral Commission to advertise for nominations for a recount, but some bookmakers say it's too early to tell who will win.
On the numbers that we can see, Lara Alexander has some advantage over Simon Wood, but there are a lot of votes that we can't see, and we'll have to wait and see how those go in the recount.
The 3 Liberal candidates have until February 25 to nominate for the recount, which means the government should return to a 1-seat majority by the time Parliament returns on March 1.
OK, thank you very much, Ainsley. Ainsley Koch there from Parliament House. Well, Tasmania has recorded its 3rd COVID-related death this week. The 84-year-old woman from the Southern Aged Care Facility is the 10th person to die from the virus since borders reopened. 637 new cases were detected, while 11 people are being treated in hospital, including 1 in ICU. 71 teachers are yet to provide their vaccination status, while the first day back at school saw a student attendance rate of 94%. It comes as Australia's medical regulator gives the green light to using AstraZeneca as a 3rd dose to Australians over the age of 18. A coroner has reinforced the need for a dedicated inpatient mental health facility for adolescents in the state, following the death of a 16-year-old boy in Hobart in 2017. The report found the teenager received treatment at a Melbourne mental health clinic before being discharged and returning to Tasmania. He died 2 days later. Coroner Kenneth Stanton said it was important to have treatment facilities close to family and support networks.
It is time that we provided access to acute mental health services here in Tasmania for young people who need that support.
We've established adolescent units at both the LGH and at the Royal, and we'll continue to introduce the broader reforms that we accepted as a result of the CAMS review last year.
In 2015, Coroner Olivia McTaggart made recommendations about establishing an inpatient unit for young people, as well as statewide suicide prevention coordinators. And if you or someone you know needs support, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. Well, Tasmania is making a shock bid to host the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Tom Johnson joins us for more. Now, Tom, how far has the pitch progressed?
Well, it's early days, Kim. At this stage, the Premier has confirmed he's written to Australia's Commonwealth Games boss asking for Tasmania to be considered to host the 2026 Games. It pits the state against Melbourne, which has also put in a bid. Naturally, this would be the biggest sporting event the state has held, but it would need plenty of cash for sporting infrastructure, which would almost certainly have to come from the federal level. For background, Birmingham in England was meant to host the 2026 Games, but they had to jump in and take over this year's edition because the original host Durban in South Africa wasn't going to be ready in time. So that's why there's an opening for a new host, although, Kim, if Tasmania doesn't win sole hosting rights, the government is leaving the door open to sharing the load with another state.
OK, watch this space. Thanks very much, Tom. We will catch up with you later in sport. Well, an out-of-control bushfire has broken out in the state's northeast with a watch and act alert in place. For more, let's cross to reporter Letitia Wallace, who's in Labrina. Now, Letitia, are homes under threat?
Good evening, Kim. Yes, crews are working around the clock to try and bring a blaze under control, with a number of homes in the Labrina and Wainean area currently under threat. Now, the fire broke out on Pipers Brook Road around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Authorities expect this blaze to be difficult to control. Helicopters are water bombing as we speak, while around a dozen trucks have also been deployed to the area. Power lines are down, leaving around 100 homes without power at this stage. And Kim, the TFS is urging people from around the area to stay away while firefighters try to bring this blaze under control, which will no doubt go well into the night.
OK, thanks for the update there, Letitia. Letitia Wallace from Labrina, the state's northeast. The stars are out at QV Mag with maintenance underway on the Planetarium projector. Used to simulate the motion of stars as the Earth rotates, the projector needs to be periodically disassembled to replace worn parts and to clean it.
If I wasn't here to be able to do this, then if you want to get on the phone and get the person that fixes those projectors, you ring Germany.
The projector is worth more than $1 million. Visitors will be welcomed back from mid next week. Well, one of the Navy's most sophisticated warships has docked at its Tasmanian namesake this morning. HMAS Hobart arrives just days before it becomes the flagship for the annual regatta festivities.
A long-awaited hug between husband and wife after weeks away at sea.
It's always difficult, but as I said, we've been a military family for a long time now, and it's something you don't ever get used to, but you accept.
Daniel McCroe was one of many sailors on board the HMAS Hobart, returning from its first posting of the year.
There's always that nice feeling of coming home, so, and as I said, it's even more special now. I get to bring the ship home for the first time.
A sentiment echoed by fellow Tasmanian crew members.
Always good to step ashore here, see the mountain. I always feel home when I see the mountain. It's beautiful.
But they won't be completely off duty, taking on a more relaxed mission and coming ashore for 3 action-packed days at the 184th Royal Hobart Regatta.
We've got some people ashore getting involved in the swimming, the tug of war. We'll start some of the events using the ship's horn. So we really are out there, and obviously the crew, like they did today, will be out on the rails having a good look around.
Spent a lot of years at the regatta with my father, participating in all the events. So super excited to be here this year.
The ship will remain docked for the next few days before making its way to the River Derwent to provide a backdrop for all the regatta festivities on Sunday.
Don't think I could think of something better than having sailors ashore from the HMAS Hobart for the Royal Hobart Regatta. I think it's extremely important, and we're really privileged to have them here.
Tours of the ship won't be allowed again due to COVID. Still, it hasn't hampered the efforts of volunteers ahead of a Saturday start.
It's a busy time. I've got 130 volunteers at the moment setting up, and about 150 people all up that help to run the regatta.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
A Launceston Racing Club has been left devastated after its buildings were damaged and 2 go-karts stolen on Sunday night. Volunteers say it's not just $10,000 out of pocket, but one of the carts is used by children looking to take up the sport.
Fences cut, a door destroyed, a club shattered.
We're missing 2 carts with engines, otherwise it was damage. Just damage to locks, damage to doors.
The thieves broke into the Launceston Kart Club on Sunday night, a major blow to the next generation, who rely on the sets of wheels to build their skills.
We don't have a whole lot of karts available for that sort of thing, so for us to not have this junior kart available, it definitely does hamper our ability to be able to get people into the sport.
Members of the Kart Club say they're thankful more wasn't stolen. A 3rd kart was meant to be on the premises on Sunday night, but was taken away to be repaired. Despite the setback, 400 people will descend on the raceway next weekend for its first race meet of the year. Police have combed the scene for evidence, dusting for fingerprints as part of their investigation. Anyone with information should contact police. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, the team behind the iconic Party in the Apocalypse is bringing a 2nd edition of the festival to Hobart. Vibestown is behind the 2-day event to be held at Cornelian Bay in March. Organisers say the idea has been in the pipeline since before the pandemic. Around 5,000 people are expected to enjoy the lineup of music, which will be released in coming days. Junction Arts Festival is preparing for its most exciting year yet, with new funding to give more local artists the opportunity to participate. Creative Partnerships Australia will match donations towards the festival, dollar for dollar.
What this money will go towards is actually supporting artists, creating opportunities for them to bring their music, their dance, their theatre, their installations to the park or to the city.
The arts in any community is vital because it provides a voice or even a soul of that particular society.
Junction hopes to raise a combined total of $90,000. All donations are tax deductible. This year's Launceston Royal Show will return to a 3-day format for the first time in 5 years. The board made the decision to extend the October event due to strong interest in its new home at Quirkers Park in Carrick. The show has been cancelled for the past 2 years due to COVID.
Big totals are tipped when Glenorchy takes on South Hobart Sandy Bay in the Cricket Tasmania Premier League 1-day final. The 2 power sides are known for their big-hitting batting lineups. Glenorchy made its charge to the decider on the back of pure grit.
We know that we're probably not the most talented or first-class cap team in the comp, but if we're able to connect as a group and drive higher training standards, then we would see the internal improvement that we've seen.
I think both teams have chased really well and they've also set really big targets, so no matter what happens, I think we're going to get a good standard of cricket.
The final is on Sunday at Blunston. A tyre shortage is adding some extra intrigue to this weekend's Trans Am racing at Symmons Plains. It's just one factor the series' reigning champion has on his mind, with a new car, a pro contract and a Tasmanian legend in pit lane. A symbol of American muscle, a Ford Mustang could bring Nathan Hearn back-to-back Trans Am titles.
This first round's definitely going to be a bit of a shakedown and feel out the team.
That team is Gary Rogers Motorsport, his first professional contract, having come from a grassroots family garage.
It was very much dad and lad racing, going into now professional motorsport.
And Dad isn't the only one now offering advice.
Marcus Ambrose wins.
Marcus Ambrose is part of Hearn's pit lane team, helping navigate the big V8 engines powering the Trans Am competition.
I've definitely got my notepad out. I've been writing down as much as I can as I go along.
In the TCRs, Holden Supercars driver Will Brown is jumping behind an Audi.
Front wheel drive compared to rear wheel drive is a fair bit different, and then you're sitting on the left in the TCR car and the right the supercar, so they're completely different cars.
Teams are racing with fewer tyres in the garage due to COVID supply chain chaos. It won't help the S5000s, they're set to burn plenty of rubber. A rule change this year means traction control is being turned off.
I'm not sure what to expect yet, but hopefully it makes it more exciting.
For the fans to get out here, sit up on that hill
and just watch non-stop racing. You won't get seriously better value in motorsport.
Practice and qualifying begins tomorrow before bumper-to-bumper racing roars to life over the weekend. The Jack Jumpers are full of confidence as they aim to extend their NBL winning streak to 5 games. Star guard Josh Adams says the Jackies aren't daunted by their upcoming rematch with second-place South East Melbourne Phoenix, even after losing by 13 points when the sides met 3 weeks ago.
We did not have a good showing against them fresh out of COVID, so we're looking to keep this streak going, but we know that we're going against a very talented and very difficult opponent in their home arena.
You just got to deal with what's in front of you. Every night presents new challenges, and it's just more opportunities to test our culture, test our standards and see where we stand up.
The Jack Jumpers travel to Melbourne's John Cain Arena for the match on Sunday afternoon with tip-off at 1 o'clock.
Good evening, everyone. Cloud across much of the state today with sunny periods in the north. Launceston 27, 25 in Hobart. Burnie and Devonport both 26 degrees. 26 today at the Friendly Beaches, St Helens 24, 23 at Smithton, Lowhead and Grove. Flinders and Maria Islands 22 along with Bushy Park. 21 on King Island. Strawn 20 and Lyweenie 18. Today a band of mid to high level cloud is seen clearing the state to the northeast and a broad area of low cloud covers the west and south. A frontal band is crossing the southeast of the country and another is approaching the west coast of Tasmania. Low level cloud sits about the South Australian and Victorian coasts. Tomorrow the cold front slips to the south of Tasmania as the high over the bight strengthens and extends ridges over Western Australia, Central and Southeastern Australia, including Tasmania. Southeast to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, reaching up to 25 knots about the northwest and the south. Winds tending northerly inshore about the central north near midday. Seas 1 to 2 metres. Partly cloudy in Hobart tomorrow, 20. Also partly cloudy at both Huonville and Campania, 21 degrees there. A late shower or two in Launceston, 26. 22 in Devonport, a sunny day. And Georgetown, 24 and partly cloudy. Sunny in Burnie and Wynyard, 22. Strawn, partly cloudy, 20 degrees. Cloudy at St Helens, 21. Also 21 at Swansea. And Port Arthur, 19. Partly cloudy. The UV still sticking at high 10s with sunrise another minute later at 6:20 a.m. A fine day ahead on Saturday apart from possible showers in the northeast. Fine on Sunday, possible late showers in the southwest. And Monday, fine about the north, the northern Midlands and the west coast. Possible showers elsewhere. A mostly sunny day tomorrow in Brisbane and Perth, 32. Adelaide mostly sunny, 28. 22 in Melbourne, partly cloudy. And 26 with showers for Sydney. Currently in Hobart, it's partly cloudy and 21. Sunny and 24 in Launceston. Devonport sunny, 21. And Kim, the mornings are starting to get lighter a little bit later now with the season change coming up soon.
They certainly are. Thanks, Carmen. That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night.